want to see how I fit 4 bundles. Yeah, you heard me right. 4 bundles into this traditional side part sew-in. Just keep watching.
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be made for me. Patience is everything. In and out, in and out, in and out. Arguing, trifling, difficult. Baby, more. I don't know why you love me. You got it bad for me, babe. I'm so glad that I can have this, baby. Nobody else but you. Nobody else made this move. Nobody else had a clue what I could do, what I could do. The right amount of love, right amount of trust, right amount of dick. Right amount of slapping me up, think that I'm going to fit. Right amount of love, play, right amount of talking to me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Feel it in my heart, feel it in my soul, feel it in my body. My body feels that I got you to know. We'll never fall out of love with you.
Okay, so this hair is from Amazon for my Amazon girlies, period. The vendor, I guess, is named Yasi Hair. I guess that's how you pronounced it. I have it inserted of what it'll look like. She got 4 bundles. I think it might have ended up being like 130 something after taxes, you know, period, which is not bad at all. The hair didn't have a smell from my point of view, but my client did wash her hair before bringing it to me. It was 4 bundles. The bundles and the wefts did seem very thick, and we love us a good thick sewing, period, because you ain't finna be looking at the back of my neck through my weave. No, baby. It's a no. But yes, this is all the information of the hair, and we finna get into this install, period. This is just me showing you how much I left off for her leave out, you know, just the part in the edges, nothing in the back, minimum leave out. Minimum leave out, okay? That's the goal here. Okay, let's talk braid down. So everybody does a different braid down. It just really depends on your client, their head shape, their hair density, their hair length. All of that is taken into consideration. So the braiding pattern that I'm using now is what fits best for this client. I have tried other braid downs, and they don't give me the same result as this braid down does. So this is my go-to braid down for her. Make sure y'all are oiling or greasing y'all client's scalp before y'all get into y'all sew-ins, because that can kind of prevent the itching. I mean, it's gonna itch regardless. That means your hair gonna boo. But yeah, make sure y'all, because no, please do not be sewing these tracks onto these clients' head and they scalps are drier than the Sahara Desert. That's a no-go, baby. And what I'm using on my client's scalp isn't just Blue Magic itself. It's a combination of a multitude of different things that I kind of mix together, kind of like a little growth grease of mine. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. Okay, first thing on our list is how to secure a track when you're ending it. The key to this is to stick your needle through the weft. You want to sew through the weft. This is going to ensure that there isn't any slippage or sliding as your sewing starts to grow out. And you want to ensure this on the ends of the track because you don't want your tracks to start to do the little flyaway thing where the end of the tracks just be poking out and sticking out and stuff. Yeah, no, it's not cute, boo. It's not cute. You got to secure that. Got to make sure that's going to stay where it needs to stay until it's ready for us to take it out. So the key for that is to make sure you're going through the weft and then through the braid, knotting it off and securing it. Simple, real easy. Second on our list of tips would be the flip over method. I double my tracks when I sew in. It's at the back, so like the medium part. At the front, I I single track it, I guess that's what you want to call it. But here I'm breaking up the tracks to where I'm single tracking it now, and I'm going to end it the same way that you would end a regular track. That's how you would sew it, right? And then when you go over to flip it over, you want to lay it as flat as possible and also go through the track. That's the trick here. You want to go through the track. Going through the track just helps it lay flatter to the braid. The flatter to the braid, the flatter to the scalp. That's why, it's all in the foundation and you just go from there. But yeah, that's the trick to the flip over method. You just flip it over and go through the weft. Go through the weft to secure it properly. Also, when you go to flip it over and you do that first little knot, if you feel like you need to go through and do like another knot to cross it over, to crisscross, to kind of make an X, to help it lay flatter, do that. Do what you feel you need to do in order to secure it properly. But then you just continue the track on out. And once you meet up with the part you took away, then you just continue to sew them together. Just line them back up and sew them together. Okay, so here is just a close-up of my sewing technique of choice that I use. This is known by a few different names. Some people might call it the overlap or the gate or the loop or whatever you know about is whatever you know about. But this is what I use. I like to use this because it's securing for the track. Like the track's not gonna move, as long as the other ones are linked together, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a Lego type thing, right? Like it's only going to be as loose as the section before, so you have to make sure you keep it tight and together so the thread is on top of the track and it's holding it in there, it's gating it in there like that. It's not going nowhere, baby. With using this technique, I would say you should have maybe 2 to 3 checkpoints along your rows, right? The row that you're sewing, the row that you're going with your track or whatever. you should have at least 2 to 3 checkpoints. I say the start and the end, and somewhere along in the middle. Your checkpoint is going to be this little knot right here. Yeah, you need to do that when you start the track, somewhere in the middle, and then somewhere at the end. That way you know that your line of track is secured properly, it's anchored properly, and it's not going anywhere. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find, give all my love, and nothing's gonna tear us apart. Okay, make sure when y'all get to the edges that y'all single track it if you're in the middle of double tracking it, if that makes sense. It just allows it to lay flatter. It gives it a smoother pullback, if that makes sense. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. But yeah, make sure y'all single track it around the edges and around the top. This is going to give you that natural feel, that natural form, that natural shape. Right? So next up is creating the bang. So depending on the look that your client is going for, depends on how much bang you're going to give. So basically all you're doing is you're turning the track to go along the hairline of the hair, right? And you're going to sew it to the braid that way. When doing this, you want to make sure that you're sewing your needle through the whip, and then you want to also make sure that you're sewing close together. This is going to create stability for the track, so when you do go to move it back, it helps with blending, for one, if you have a perimeter of leave out, and then it also keeps it from you seeing the braid when you go to push it back or pull it back. So yeah, make sure that you're sewing A, tight together, B, through the weft. It's the same flip over method. You're just doing it, I guess horizontally instead of vertically. No, you're doing it vertically instead of horizontally. Yeah, it's the same thing. But yeah, depending on how much bang your client wants, depends on how many times you're gonna do this. I just did it once because she just wanted a little something, not nothing too crazy. But if your client wants it to give bang, then yeah, you're gonna do that a few times actually.
Chose. Like, if she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch high every time that I post. Damn, the party not lit, then I'd rather not go. If she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch high every time that I post. Damn, it's not bad, they be on my ass. I could hear you hating from the back. Balenciaga baddie got a bag. Nigga munching ate it from the back. Niggas feeling gotta play it cool. Got the jetty, I'ma make a move. Breaking records and I'm breaking news. This be pressed like who you? I get whatever I like. Bitches won't bark, but they wanna bite. I got too many for using a mic, bitch. Think about that when you type. She wanna party with spice, and the body gon' eat. Bon appetit, ass all fat, the waist on sleep. Ginger hair, pretty comb beat. How can I lose if I'm already chose? Like, if she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch high every time that I post. Damn, the party not lit, then I'd rather not go. If she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch high every time that I post. Damn, look in the mirror, I'm feeling me. Stacking money with a ceiling. 20 to stand on the couch, went out of town, fuck if they feeling me. He like the way that I dress, throwing bullets to the flex. Like Mimi, I got him obsessed. Them bitches see me as a threat. The baddest in the room, so tell them to make room. Diamonds glisten on my boob, they gon' listen to my tune. Flow the nicest, but I'm rude. I like niggas, bitches too. Ayo, baddie, what it do? Ayo, Maddie, what it do? Not use if I'm already chose. Like, if she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch high every time that I post. Damn, the party not lit, then I'd rather not go. Okay, next on our list we have creating the proper blend for your blend out at the top. Okay, so you know how I talked about braid patterns and things earlier. Okay, so depending on the braid pattern depends on how
exactly you would blend the hair. Some people have like a small braid going around the shape of the leave out, but in this case I did not do that because it was going to be too bulky. Like, I tried it before, it just doesn't work. So this method works best for this client. So what you see me doing here was flat ironing the track so that it lays as flat as possible. Right after I flat iron it, I'm going in and applying a layer of hair glue. I'm gonna then allow that layer of hair glue to become tacky and apply it to her head in the same form that I measured it out to be. It's the same way I'm going to apply it. I'm going to apply it, blow dry it, let it get dry, set, and that's going to be that middle gap filler from the leave out to the tracks.